Number 21, Michigan, 30. Nebraska, 27. Let's go over the highest grade players, starting off with the Michigan Wolverines. Highest grade player was their linebacker, Ernest Hausman, 78.4. Edge rusher, Derek Moore, 77.7. Justice Haynes, the running back, 75.1. Jaden Sanders, the cornerback, 74.1. Andrew Sprague, the offensive tackle, 73.1. And Bryce Underwood with a 51.7 grade in the win for Michigan. Let's go over to Nebraska with their highest grade players in the loss. Starting off with defensive tackle, Elijah Judy, 81.1. Ja'Cory Barney Jr., 76. Vincent Shavers Jr., the linebacker, 75.4. Deshaun Singleton, the safety, 68.7. Henry Lutovsky, the guard, 65.7. And Dylan Raiola with a 67.9 grade in the loss for Nebraska. Dalton, for you, what told the story?
All right, so I think this Nebraska team, and I said to win this game that Raiola would have to be their best player. I think the problem is that even though he probably is their best player, it's still not enough to win a game like this. Nebraska's got flaws, and I think you're going to get into another one, but I think one of them is these offensive tackles and the amount that Raiola was under pressure. And then when he wasn't under pressure, he could still feel it. He had a 55.2 clean pocket passing grade in this game. His passing grade under pressure was actually a lot better. I think it was 77 or 78. But the problem is that you could feel that this offense, because they only ran the ball for 92 yards as well. You could feel that this offense was just, hey, Dylan, try to get us through this, man. Just see what you can do. See if you can beat Wink Martindale and a really good Michigan defense. And honestly, he did everything he could have. I really believe. I mean, you're talking about him and Ja'Cory Barney with the Hail Mary at the end of the half. He's making throws downfield. I talked about 10-plus yard throws, Max, in this game. 93.8 passing grade on 10-plus yard throws. And I know there was the interception early really hurt him. That led to a Michigan touchdown. But Raiola's doing everything he can. He was under pressure 49% of the time in this game. He was sacked 7 times. His offensive tackles specifically, they were okay on the interior. Michigan had 5 different edge defenders, 5 with at least 3 pressures in this game. His offensive tackles, 44.8 pass blocking grade. Dylan Raiola, you know what? The joke has been made all too many times, but he basically had to try to Mahomes his way through this one. And he wasn't that far from doing it, but this team needs to help him. Ja'Cory Barney was really good. Where is Dane Key? Where is Naziah Hunter, other than stepping out of the back of the end zone on what should have been a touchdown? Where is the run game? Emmett Johnson's been solid this year and just didn't give us enough in this game. If you're the Cornhuskers, I just think this team, Raiola, actually, I think I learned, it's kind of weird. I think he is good enough to carry them through a lot, but that a lot that he has to carry them through has to be a little bit less, right? Yeah. And it's on both sides of the ball. You're going to get on the other side right now, but he needs a little more help. It's in there. There's actually a superstar in there. There's moments, man. There's certain throws, especially on the move, under pressure. He's strong, shaking off tacklers in the pocket. There's a superstar in there.
He could be an NFL quarterback.
But they need offensive tackles. They need receivers to help him out. And on your end of this, they need to not get mauled on the ground.
Yeah.
Because they could not control the pace of this game. This game really was. And I had a feeling if Nebraska was going to win it, it kind of was going to have to be like this. But to the extent that it worked in Michigan's favor, this game really was Dylan Raiola against Michigan.
Yeah.
The rest of it was not good. Other than Ja'Cory Barney, I'm going to throw. He was fantastic too, obviously, making as many plays as he did, especially the Hail Mary. That's what this came down to me. I think this game became too much of just Raiola versus the entire Michigan program. And look, 9 times out of 10, the entire team is going to win out over one guy.
Yeah. And my matchup going into the preview was, yes, Bryce Underwood is getting all of the love and deservingly so, but can Nebraska slow down the run game for Michigan first? And they could not. Michigan averaged 8.9 yards per carry in this game. The Wolverines ran for 284 yards, 0.321 EPA per run, averaged 5.6 yards after contact per attempt. And it wasn't just one guy either. Justice Haynes had 149 yards on the ground. Jordan Marshall had 80 yards on the ground. Bryce Underwood had 55 yards on the ground. 7 explosive runs total for Michigan in this game. 7 10-plus yard runs in this one. Nebraska's pass defense is actually pretty good. But against Cincinnati and now against Michigan, they have struggled immensely with their run fits and also with tackling right now. This Nebraska run defense is a massive, massive problem for them. And for Michigan, on the other side, same old Michigan, man. They're going to maul you up front with their offensive linemen. They have really good running backs. Now they have a quarterback in Bryce Underwood who's a very good mobile threat too. Michigan, I went into it thinking Michigan had the advantage with their run game, and they had a decided advantage with their run game, and really that's why they won this football game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Look, I came out of week 1 against Cincinnati believing that if Cincinnati would have just committed to their run game early instead of messing around and trying to have Sorsby win the game with his arm, that Cincinnati would have beat them.
Yeah.
2 games against Power 4 teams. Against Cincinnati, Nebraska, 42.8 run defense grade. Against Michigan, 59.3. And I wouldn't be shocked in the review if it came out worse. You mentioned, you talked about this last night. We were talking about this. The 3 rushing touchdowns for Michigan weren't even touched.
Yeah.
Nobody was even touched. They're not even fitting this thing upright right now. And especially a team with a mobile quarterback is giving them problems. I look at certain games right now on Nebraska's schedule, big games we're talking about. At Minnesota, Darius Taylor, A.J. Turner, they're going to run the ball. Penn State, Allen and Singleton. Iowa, maybe the best offensive line in the country, the way they want to run the football. If Nebraska doesn't figure out this run defense, you're playing in the Big Ten. You can't stop the run, you're going to be a mess against a lot more teams than just the top line ones, right? They need to figure this problem out because right now they have a quarterback that's good enough to compete in this conference. They absolutely do. They can't control the pace of the game. They can't get him the football enough. They can't stop anybody on the ground right now. They have to be able to fix this run defense. They have to find some solution for this because this was not the case last year, but they lost some guys to the NFL. They lost some guys to the portal and that front 7. This is an issue. This is a big issue, especially in a Big Ten where a lot of teams do want to run the football and stay balanced.
Definitely. All right. Who was your most impressive player for Michigan in this game?
I'm going to stay on the Michigan pass rush side. Derek Moore was fantastic. Yeah. I mean, of all the great pass rushers there were in this game for Michigan, again, 5 different edge defenders with at least 3 pressures. Derek Moore had 6 of those pressures, 76.6 pass rush grade, 2 sacks, 27% pass rush win rate. When he really got to pin his ears back and it was true pass sets, which there was a lot of them late in this game, Derek Moore was dominant. He just absolutely dominated Nebraska's offensive tackles.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Michigan offensive line. They kicked ass up front with that front 5. Averaged 3.3 rushing yards before contact per attempt. Ball carriers for Michigan were getting 3 yards before they were even touched in this game. They had a touchdown runs of 37 yards, 75 yards, and 54 yards. And Dalton, like you just mentioned right there, on those 3 runs, they maybe got one hand on Justice Haynes on the 75-yard run, which, yes, is credit to Nebraska's run defense not playing well at all and just not fitting it up well, but also Michigan's offensive line kicking ass up front that Nebraska could not even get a hand on the ball carriers on these long touchdown runs too. And also, 83.5 pass blocking grade for Michigan in this game. Only 3 pressures allowed on 26 snaps for the Michigan offensive line. Andrew Sprague, Nathan Afobe, and Greg Crippen did not allow a single pressure all game. Michigan has one of the highest rated quarterback recruits ever. But the identity of this team is still with the offensive line and with the run game right now. This is the exact type of situation you want to see for Bryce Underwood. Just not a lot of pressure on him. He didn't play well as a passer at all in this game, but it didn't matter because Michigan's offensive line and their run game was that freaking dominant.
They are not asking him to carry them, and that's the right thing to do, especially considering they're short on receivers, right? Donovan McCulley's been okay. Marlon Klein at tight end's been solid. Samaj Morgan's okay, but this is still a run-first physical football team that wants to win the Michigan way. You mentioned it, same old Michigan. They're not going to ask Bryce to carry them unless they absolutely have to, and even for a kid with that level of talent, it's exactly how it should be.
Absolutely. All right, Michigan beating Nebraska 30-27.